Okay, welcome back to the James Rich Show. We're starting the Premier League Super Week today. We're going to have a show every single night on all the teams. You can obviously see in our visual. Tonight it will be all about Liverpool. Tomorrow is Man City. Thursday's Chelsea. Arsenal on Friday, which will be good because we're going to have a watch along. So I'll be watching the Arsenal game. Hopefully we'll have a good game there, and we'll put a watch along on Twitch. And on Saturday, Man United. And then on Sunday, we're going to do like a match of the day review show of all the games. I'll give my honest opinions on who looks good, who doesn't look good. But this week as well, I think I'm going to go on Friday with the Arsenal watch along show. I'm going to do a prediction show, who's going to win the league, who's going to get relegated, who's going to win the leagues in Europe, who's going to win the Champions League, etc., etc., etc. Join us for that. It should be fun. But tonight is all about Liverpool. All about Liverpool. So, good evening, Ike 4. Yes, good evening, Ike. Good to see you back. Sebulously's back again. Arsenal game should be good. Evening, James. Yes, good evening. Arsenal game should be good. I mean, Brentford away is not an easy game for Arsenal. First game, should be good. Who have Arsenal signed? They've only signed Ben White, haven't they? So there's another disappointing transfer window for Arsenal. But I don't want to stay too long on Arsenal. I want to stick to Liverpool today, which I think Liverpool are the most underreported side at the moment in the Premier League. And I don't know why. Everyone seems to think they're just going to get third place easily. Everyone thinks Man City, Chelsea. Everyone thinks Man City have won the league. So what's the point of competing this season? And then everyone thinks it's Chelsea. Depends if you speak to a Man United fan. Maybe Man United may come second. But no one's given a chance to Liverpool because they're not splashing the cash, are they? They're not splashing the cash. Exactly, just like what Dean Windass 21% says. Liverpool getting left behind. Well, when they won the league, they didn't splash the cash, did they? Liverpool and Klopp have a different ideology than the other clubs. Except for Thiago Alcantara, go on, you guys tell me in the chat. Except for Thiago Alcantara, when have Liverpool ever bought a world-class player? They don't buy players at the top. They make their own players. They develop their own players. They turn players like Alexander-Arnold into £150 million players. Salah, he was good when he got transferred there, yes. Where was he? He was Roma. Obviously, we saw him at Chelsea. He wasn't very good, but that doesn't mean anything. He had a good season at Roma, and then look what Klopp's done to him at Liverpool. He's made him into, one of the best attacking players in the world. Same with Mane. No, you're saying Torres, Suarez. I'm talking about whilst Klopp's in charge. And I don't think you could argue that Torres and Suarez, by the time they were bought, when Liverpool bought Torres, I wouldn't say Torres was world class. He had the potential to be, and the same with Suarez. They bought him from Ajax, and they bought him from Atletico Madrid. I wouldn't say they were world class, but I'm not going back to before Klopp. I'm talking about during Klopp's reign. He doesn't buy world class players. Even Van Dijk, he's turned him into the best centre back in the world. Evening, everyone's saying evening. That's why I keep saying evening. Evening, all good evening, Kemi Tiber. Are they not looking forward to Derby? Derby are playing tonight, I think, aren't they, in the League Cup? Wazza at the helm. But we'll do a show on Derby at some point just for Kemi Tiber. Evening, Fred. Yeah, evening. Fred must be happy. He's been watching Messi all day. Be in Paris. But we spoke too much about Messi on this show. If you follow us on our Instagram, we've just got our Instagram started. James Rich Show. Just like all of our channels. All of them are James Rich Show, which is easy for us, James, you need to buy a new app. Will you buy me one, Dean? You've got a few quid on you, ain't you, Dean? You've got Premier League cash. Apparently it's a parody account, but I always believed it was the real Dean. But I have bought a new app. You saw me out last time. You ripped me apart from my other app last time. We're losing 2-0 to Salford at home. What, Derby in the League Cup? Jesus Christ. But let's crack on. Let's crack on to Liverpool. So, the first question that I've put in my tweet today is, can Liverpool mount a title challenge? I don't know who's read my article on Liverpool. If you have, let me know in the comments. I've written an article now about the 5 top clubs in England. I'm currently writing the article on Spurs. I'm halfway through it. That should be out by probably tonight or tomorrow. And then I'm going to write another 4 or 5 articles only on I think I'm going to do Leeds, I'm going to do Villa, I'm going to do Leicester, I'll do Everton, and maybe I'll do Wolves, but I might just keep it at 10 just before the start of the season. Fraggletees is now following. Thanks for the follow, Fraggletees. I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. What's Sebiously saying? We know he's a big Liverpool man or woman or whatever he wants to identify as, Liverpool have players coming back from injuries and players will improve from last season. Well, yeah, I mean, when he says players back coming from injuries, he must mean Virgil van Dijk, because that was the difference last season, right? Virgil van Dijk, he makes such a big difference to Liverpool and to how they play. He's such a key player. I mean, if you read my article in the Medium, on the Medium account, medium.com @JamesRich, I was arguing this all along. Virgil van Dijk is such a key talisman for Liverpool, and he would be for any club, I think he's the best and the most complete centre-back in the world. Tell me in the comments if you guys think that there's a better centre-back than Virgil van Dijk. Obviously, you're wrong, but you can try and tell me why you're right. What else are we saying here then? Dean Windass is back again. Liverpool were a one-season wonder and they have been too arrogant in the window and relied on said injuries. It's not that they're too arrogant. It's just that they don't really spend any money, do they? That guy that owns them he's a psycho. That guy is a psycho. I don't know if you've seen, when they done that European Super League and Liverpool were involved, and he posted a video apologising to the Liverpool fans. Like he could just tell he's a psychopath, the person that owns Liverpool. Like, he's not all there. And I mean, for Liverpool fans, they're probably happy with the owners because they've finally won them the league after so many years in the wilderness. So, what more do you want? And they've won the Champions League. I think Liverpool are a great side, and I think they've got a lot of young players that are unknown that are going to do well this season. And we're going to go into that further on. Garbage, lucky to get top 4. Yeah, they were very lucky to get top 4 last season. It was very strange how they got top 4 as well. I mean, Leicester, obviously, I love Leicester, and everyone loves Brendan Rodgers for some reason. I mean, he's an okay manager. He's an Everton manager. But he's a bottle job, isn't he, Brendan? And he bottled it. He bottled it again. But he won an FA Cup, which is pretty good, to be fair, for Leicester. You can't really have a go at him for that. He's done all right, but I don't know how Leicester didn't get Champions League last season. Now, Liverpool don't need too many players to mount a title challenge. Yeah, I agree. They don't. I mean, they still got basically the same team, except Wijnaldum, that won them the league by a country mile. Okay, the year they did win the league, Man City had a lot of injuries and they relied on Man City being poor. But the thing is about this season is, you listen to anyone who's anyone. On all of the football channels, on Twitter, on the radio. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of tying up this season? Everyone seems to think Man City have got it done and dusted, right? 1.75 for them to win the league. Now, I mean, I'm not a genius, but I am a bit of a contrarian, I am a bit of a contrarian. If everyone believes Man City are going to win the league, they ain't going to win the league. Just a bit like France in the Euros. Everyone thought France would win the Euro. France. And they thought they would win it. And let's be honest, France are the best, still the best. Even today, they're still the best international team. And they got knocked out by Switzerland. Okay, you're going to go argue that's cup football, whatever. Winning the league's different. Yeah, you might be right. But I think the quality we have on show from Liverpool this season is still... I think they're the top 3, top 2 in England. Definitely. All right, you're going to say Man City are better. But when Liverpool have a certain style of play, I put this in the article. Don't know if this is politically correct, but I put it. I sort of said it was like Blitzkrieg, from the German World War II. If any of you are into the World War II strategy, Blitzkrieg was a strategy that would just take the tanks through and just absolutely rip apart the infantry. And that's like Liverpool. Liverpool before, when they won the league, like they're just blitzkrieg. It's just fast. Get the job done at half time. They'd be 3-0 up by half time, and the other team was just wouldn't realise what's going on. And Klopp's a genius. Klopp's a genius, man. If you don't think Klopp's a genius, you're a moron. You're a moron. So what else are you saying? Dean Windass is busy tonight. He's chirping up. You haven't got anyone, and if you think injuries coming back will make you complete for the title, you're delusional. I think the point Sebulously is making about injuries is, I think, I'm speaking for you here, Sebulously, but I assume you're talking about Van Dijk. Because when you've got Van Dijk back, he just provides the cornerstone to everything that's Liverpool. It's not, let me think, it's like taking John Terry out of that Chelsea team, but John Terry was always fit. It's a very similar player, you know, and I think that's why he's went out and got that Konate at Liverpool from Leipzig, because if they do get injured again, you know, they're a bit poor at the back, aren't they? I mean, Joe Gomez is always injured as well, but I rate him. Joe Gomez is a great player. But they really do need to keep Van Dijk fit. They keep Van Dijk fit, they are going to mount a title challenge this season. I will guarantee you that. Because they've got everything else needed to mount a title challenge. Everything in their team is brilliant. We'll go through it soon. Liverpool have a lot to prove this season, a lot of doubt. Exactly. Liverpool have a lot to prove this season because everyone's like, you won the league last 2 years ago, you're amazing or whatever. And last season, don't know what they were doing. It's because Van Dijk was out. I mean, it was so inconsistent, losing to some poor sides, and the defence was leaky, wasn't it? I mean, Salah still done really well last season. He still got plenty of goals. Mane, maybe not as well. Who did Liverpool go out in the Champions League to? I can't remember. I should have researched that before. But they were poor in the Champions League as well. But Liverpool are one of them sides that can always win the Champions League. They're a great cup side. And they're a good league side because, you know, they've won the league. They know what they're doing. All right, Man City are Man City. Fair enough. But what happens if they don't get Kane and Jesus gets injured? They got all these players that are creating stuff. But who's putting the ball in the goal? They ain't got anyone. All right. What are we guys saying then here then? Tell me why you're going to win the league. About Liverpool, yeah, we're going to go into that. We're going to go into why Liverpool are going to win the league this season. Chelsea are already ahead of Liverpool, and we're forgetting the surprise teams that do well. Yeah, they might have been if they signed Haaland, but they signed Lukaku, so get used to third place. Liverpool are nowhere. Liverpool are going to win the league. Not saying we're going to win the league, but injuries off-season from lots of players, empty Anfield, Klopp losing his mother, and Alisson's father passing. A lot happened last season. The squad looks like they're together. Yeah, that's in-depth. That's really in-depth stuff there, man. I mean, these guys are professionals, obviously. It's bad that they lose their parents. Okay, that's not nice. But I don't think that any of that matters to their professional performance. I don't think that's the reason. The reason why they didn't do anything last season is because, I mean, they won the league and then they sort of had a gap year. It was a gap year last year, lads. You know, Virgil van Dijk was injured, but it was a gap year last year for Liverpool. It was a gap year. You know, just to take some time off. Because when Klopp won the league for Dortmund, you know, the next year they didn't really win the league. He's not as intense as, say, Pep Guardiola because he hasn't got the funds available. But he's got the talent available. This is my point. The Liverpool squad is unbelievable, Jeff. It's unbelievable. And if you don't think that, did you not watch them when they won the league and they got the same team? All right, what are we saying here? Time will tell, but for a team that's won the league and Champions League, it's been sad to see that they haven't jumped on to retain and improve. No, but I think I know what you mean, but I think the point you're making there, Dean, is, why are they not spending 97.5 million on Lukaku, right? Why are they not spending 75 million on Sancho? They're just not splashing the cash. You don't have to splash the cash. Look at Leicester. You know, it's about being clever nowadays. It's about developing players. I mean, you can splash the cash all day, every day. Look at Everton, right? Everton splashed the cash when Koeman was in charge. Where are they? Nowhere. He spent way more money probably than Liverpool. And they're garbage. So it's not all about money. It's not all about buying players in. It's about developing players. And we're going to talk about players that Liverpool have got that a lot of people don't know about that are going to be very good this season. Players like Harvey Elliott, players like Curtis Jones. These are the players that are replacing Wijnaldum. He's not going out and buying. Apparently they are sort of linked to Saul Niguez, but we'll go into that in a bit. The players that Liverpool are linked in the transfers. Time will tell. We've just said that. Wasn't it Dortmund? I'm not sure what you're referring to. James Rich, Liverpool are going to win the league. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Read my article on Medium, and that's how I'm going to justify it tonight, but read my article on Medium to give you a more informed view of why Liverpool are going to win the league. What else are we saying? Can I have some of what you're smoking? I'm not smoking. I'm drinking this beautiful German beer that Jurgen Klopp gave me. Let's not forget that Liverpool form didn't dip until the new year. VVD injury was a blow, but there was numerous factors in a below-par season. Yeah, they can have a below-par season, right? But to win the league, you're going to have to beat Man City. You're going to have to beat Man City, who are going to get 90 points, right? So to win the league nowadays, you need to get, it's turned into a little bit like La Liga. To win the league nowadays, you need to get 90 points plus to win this league. So what's that? Say you need 32 wins. 32 wins will win you this league. 6 losses, say, or whatever. But 32 wins will win you the league. And Liverpool can get most, when they do win, Liverpool win it by half time. I think people write Liverpool off. I'm going to go into my second part of my tweet later on about Liverpool's attacking line. And I want to hear your opinions about others' attacking lines. But let's go back to what you guys are saying. If a team's arse falls out when a centre-back gets injured, then how good is said team? That's a good point. That is a good point. But he's such an important... I think that's why they've signed that Konate. That's why they went out and bought that Konate from Leipzig. So I agree with that, Dean. You can't be... obviously, he's a world-class player, one of the best centre-backs in the world, but you cannot be reliable on a player. And if he's injured, you come in, we're near the league, I totally agree with you. It's not good to be that basically Van Dijk is indispensable to Liverpool. There should never be a player that's indispensable to any club, ever. All right, what are we saying now then? Oh, no, it was Atletico Madrid. Then, oh, yeah, of course. That was the last game before... No, it wasn't. That was the season before. Or was that the season before? Atletico Madrid? Yeah, that was the season before, because that was the last ever game, normal Premier League game. That was the season before when they won the league. You're talking about Atletico Madrid. So, what are we saying here? Liverpool will be strong this season. Yeah, they will. They'll win the title. Not sure about winning the title, but they look good. Nah, you're being modest. Klopp is clever. He has different strategy. It's all about the togetherness. Exactly. And Dean Windass has told us he's a Leeds guy. Listen, Klopp is like the rich man's version of Bielsa, right? Leeds are like the poor man's version of Liverpool. They may not have all of the star players like Man City got, but everything's about the team. Everything's about the team, and that's how you win football. At the end of the day, it's a team game, and they're going to be hungry because last season they were shit. They're going to be hungry this season. They're in the Champions League. Liverpool are going to be good this season. They're going to be very good. They've got some good young players coming through. We're going to go into that later. We're going to go into who they're linked with in transfers. But what are you guys saying? Liverpool FC01, I'm sure your opinion's going to be good on Liverpool. Evening, Klopp has created a camaraderie team unlike Man City in this world. They don't throw money out to buy 1 or 2 big names. Watch this space. Yeah, I don't know what you mean about camaraderie team. Because Man City, I wouldn't say is full of camaraderie in that regard. Man City have quality, don't they? Man City are the team to beat, and then obviously the other team is Chelsea. But for some reason, no one speaks about Man United to win the title. Even though, let's be honest, if I was the manager or the owner of Man United, the amount of money they've spent and the amount of quality they've got, I'd want them to at least challenge. I don't want them, because that's what Man United do, right? They come second, and second sounds quite good. But it's not good when you're 25 points behind first. because you're just the best of the rest, and the one that's top is gone. Man United have never been in a title challenge since Ferguson. Prove me wrong. What are we guys saying? Sebulously, with Liverpool, with the Premier League being quite strong this season, with Leeds, Leicester, etc. Don't think the winning will get high points because teams will take points off City. Yeah, I agree. I don't think City are going to walk away with everything. Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably still going to get Kane, yes, but there's a lot of teams. I mean, obviously the team that they fielded against Leicester wasn't their full strength team, and they lost. But to see Man City not score is still quite strange because they've got so much creative brilliance on that pitch. Very strange. But they don't have that much in the attacking line. They've got Jesus, that's it. What other striker have they got? No one. Obviously, you're all going to go, oh, they're going to get Kane. And they probably are. And then they might be fine. But, what are you going to do with 7 number 10s playing, creating chances? For who? For who? Who's going to put the ball in the goal? And it could be Jesus. Let's be honest, it could be Jesus. But, I mean, Guardiola's that Spanish style of play. He might not even play a striker. We'll have to wait and see. But Man City, the only reason why I say this, I've got nothing bad to say about Man City. I think Man City is a perfect side. He's done everything perfectly. But the notion that everyone believes that he's going to win the league without any... it's just done. Everyone's like, oh, Man City have won it. No point turning up. Just makes me a contrarian in that regard, Just makes me a contrarian to think, nah, life doesn't work like that. All right. But it didn't, Dean. If teams... I don't know what you're saying there. Dean Woodness would get on Liverpool team. He's probably got a job in the coaching staff. Good lad. We love Dean on this show. Knocked out by Real. Yes, they were, weren't they? Which was weird. You're talking about Liverpool, yeah. They were knocked out by Real. And Liverpool just had a poor season last season. They got a lot... They're going to be hungry and they got a lot to prove this season. That's where they're at. I'm waiting for call. Haven't you got the call yet for the Liverpool job? I'm sure they need some sort of kit man or something. Dean is trolling. Well, Dean's always trolling. Garbage. I'm keeping fit. They reckon they take me out on loan. What do you mean? You're about 49. What are you on about? They're not going to take you out on loan. I think you could get a job as, motivator of the team because everyone needs a Dean Windass. Sebulously, still think Liverpool need 1 to 2 first teamish signings. I agree. But we still got 3 weeks left of the window. And we've spoke about Barcelona and Real Madrid and Inter Milan and all these fire sales that are going on. I think Liverpool are going to be shrewd here. If I'm going to be honest, I think they're going to be shrewd. United signings have been impressive, though. Yeah, they probably have, but we've mentioned this on the stream before. United is just a cursed side. I mean, I remember if you ever watched the show before when I was speaking to Josh FX91, we were talking about who's the best signing of the window, and I said it was Varane, and he agreed he's a good signing. But what more do the point I was making? What more do Man United need to do to shore up their defence than signing someone as accomplished as Varane? Right? If that guy doesn't work for Man United is just cursed. They're screwed. They're never gonna work. What more do you want than? He's won the Champions League 4 times, the World Cup once, the La Liga 3 times. What more do you want? But then again, so had Schweinsteiger, right? Schweinsteiger was a winner. I remember him at Man United. So it could be the same, let's be honest. And no one seems to be optimistic about Varane, but I am. I still think he was a great signing. Because if he doesn't make sure that they get clean sheets, they're screwed. I mean, I don't rate Maguire, never have. You've probably seen the show, never replaced him. Never rated him, not replaced him. But he needs a leader next to him like Varane, someone intelligent. Maguire's not an intelligent player. Varane is. And I think it's a good signing, but I'm not talking about Man United. Trolling aside, I think it's not concrete for City, it's anyone's, but I just don't see it being Liverpool. But if you're right, I'll buy you a grey Kangol hat and hang my boots up, no problem. Yeah, I mean, these are good quality hats, these ones, so I'll take another, no problem. Dino, get me one from, get me some sort of limited edition one or something, because Liverpool are going to win the league. Attacking flair at Liverpool flatter than me lasses Yorkshire's puddings. I don't know if that's a double entendre or you literally mean Yorkshire puddings. I can't take that sentence here. What are you on about? Because I want to move on to my next point now. My next point is, do they still have the best attacking line in the league? Attacking flair at Liverpool flatter. Flat? Are you fucking mental? Are you serious? Them three together, I would still argue are the best three in the league together. They're fucking unbelievable. Where were you the season before last? Like, they just work so well together. Like, they've all... I mean, Bobby's not that fast, but he's clever. But them two are so quick, in behind the defence. I don't know what you're on about, Dean. You're chatting shit again, Dean. Stay off the whiskey for now. You know, drink whiskey after 10 o'clock. That's what I always do. Genie, replacement number 8, and a striker number 9. I mean, I've always said this, that Liverpool need a proper number 9 striker, but this is not Klopp's philosophy. I mean, you've got Jota as well, who pitches in with loads of goals. He's a good player, very good player. He's not gonna start, but he's gonna keep him at the heels, right? Liverpool are class. Genie replacement. I don't think they need a Genie replacement. I think they just Thiago Alcantara is his replacement, like permanently. Like, the three in the midfield is going to be Fabinho, who's the best defence. Maybe Kante, you could say, is better. But Fabinho is probably the second best defensive midfielder in the league. And then they're going to have Henderson, and then they're going to have Thiago. That's what's going to start for Liverpool. And that's a very good centre midfield. Very, very, very good. Thiago Alcantara at his best is way better than Wijnaldum at his best. You know? And if Thiago Alcantara doesn't work, they're going to draft in Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott. They're not going to go out and get, you know, these expensive players. However, they have been linked with Saul Niguez. Maybe they get Saul Niguez. Great player for Atletico Madrid, just won the league. Looking for a move, apparently. So what are we saying here? Yeah, Dean Windass is laughing. Scraped fourth. Yeah, we've already admitted Liverpool was shit last season. So what's your point, caller? The front three with the wing-backs. Yeah, we've not even spoke about the wing-backs. The other thing about Liverpool, Hugtho is now following. Thanks for the follow, Hugtho. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Now, all right, they scraped fourth, which was, to be fair to them, that was brilliant for them to scrape fourth, because they never should have got fourth. You know, that was an off-season. It was their gap year last year, you know. And what Sebulous saying now is with the wing-backs. Go on, and in the comments, you tell me a team that has better wing-backs than Liverpool. No one. Alexander-Arnold is probably the best right-back in the world. And Robertson is probably, I mean, I can't think of anyone else. One of the best left-backs in the world. I like the Bayern Munich left-back. What's his name? Alphonso Davies. He's class. But Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold give them so much attacking threat. You know, and the amount of assists they get a season, and the amount, like, they've just got so much attacking threat. It's the blitzkrieg style of football that no one else has got. Man City's is the Spanish style. Keep the ball, keep the possession, and then just, you know, through quality, get the ball in behind. But Liverpool's just, poof, see you later. Proper German style football. And this is why they're going to win the league. They've got a point to prove, and they all know each other really well as well. They all know each other exceptionally well. Van Dijk's coming back. Alisson's the goalkeeper is world class. They've got everything needed to mount a title challenge, and even more to go on and win it. What are we saying here then? The front three, 2 seasons ago, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Harvey Elliott rumoured to start against Norwich. Thoughts? Yeah, he will. I think he will start against Norwich. The boy's class. Get him in. And he took us up. He's like Tonka. He's Tonka, Harvey Elliott. He's Tonka. Harvey Elliott is very good. What did he do? I wrote about this shit the other day. He got 11 assists for Blackburn at 16, and 8 goals as a 16-year-old for Blackburn in the Championship. This is his chance to shine. He seems, I mean, they bought him for, I mean, not much money, but for a 16-year-old, they bought him from Fulham, didn't they, for a few quid. But he's such a tidy player. I mean, I imagine a few of you don't. Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones going to win the league. You're killing me, James. Yeah, I imagine this is the sort of points I imagine you're making. But these are the new players that are coming through. Salah, Mane, Firmino, Van Dijk, Thiago, Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. They're the ones that are going to win the league for Liverpool. And then they're going to bring up the new guys, you know. These two new guys are, I think one of them is going to have a breakout season. One of them two will have a breakout season because they're going to get featured. And we'll go on to who they're linked with transfer-wise for later on down the show. If the youth is good enough, why buy? Yeah, good point. Good point. If the youth is good enough, why buy? Why buy? I don't know. Why would you buy? Because it's better. You know, like the Alexander-Arnold is the perfect player for Liverpool, right? He's a Scouser. He loves the club. He's never going to leave that club. Why would he? He's came through at Liverpool at the right time. Whereas, obviously, I love Stevie Gerrard. I thought he's a great player, but I bet he must be sitting there thinking, I wish I was coming through Liverpool now, because this is the time you want to be at Liverpool with Klopp in charge. Not back then, because he was carrying them all the time. But no one's going to carry him now, right? They've got too many world-class players. What's Dean saying? Klopp isn't creating an algorithm for an autonomous vehicle. He's just a football manager. Klopp didn't show up last year, and they haven't done no business. Why are we talking like it's all going to change? Because of their players. Because of their players and Klopp's philosophy. And they're under the radar. They just can't be written off. Their players are class. Like, starting 11-wise, I mean, obviously you're going to say PSG are better than them. But Liverpool would batter PSG this year. Let's just say Liverpool and PSG are in the or even Man City and PSG are in the Champions League final. Even though on paper PSG's probably got the best team in the world at the moment, Liverpool would batter them. I think even Chelsea would beat PSG. Even Man United would stand a chance. I'm not going to say Arsenal, that's way too far. Spurs definitely too far. But a lot of the Premier League clubs would do in PSG. The German beer is too strong for my boy James. No, German beer is the way forward, sir. Well, what do you drink, Dean? Dean drinks probably a John Smith's, I reckon. You're drinking a bit of John Smith's. One-off season and no big signings doesn't mean failure. Barca-built teams didn't buy much of 2010 Barca, not now, lol. Yeah, exactly. Most great teams don't actually buy the team except for Man City. That's why Man United are going wrong. You don't buy the team to be great. Obviously, Chelsea did that as well. But you develop the team. And that's what Liverpool are doing. They develop. They're not buying, they develop. And, you know, let's be honest, by the end of the season, when you go, James, you're right, Liverpool have won the league. You ain't going to apologise, are you, Dino? You ain't going to apologise. You're not going to go, James, you're a visionary. And section is clogged with Liverpool fans. We shall see. Are we comparing prime Barca to current Liverpool? Okay. I think that the prime Barca team that you're talking about, right, in 2011 with Pep Guardiola is probably the greatest team I've ever seen. And very close to them would be the Spanish international team that won it in 2008, 2010 and 2012. But I think the Liverpool team that won the league is one of the best. Definitely the top 3 ever Premier League winning sides. I'd say the best ever must be the year that Man City got the most amount of points ever. They're the best, but they're Man City, so no one cares. The second best is probably the Invincibles with Arsenal. And then the third best was, I would say, Liverpool, Premier League-wise. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the chat. James, you ain't got a clue. Well, come on the show, Dean. You let me know. You come on the show. You tell me what I don't know about, but I'm just giving you my opinion. I just write my articles. I ain't got a clue, but Liverpool are going to win the league this year, mate. Get used to it, Sam. No, but it's a model that teams should follow. What, you're talking about developing players? Yes, it should. I mean, who else is the model? Leeds have got this model. I don't know why Dean's going mental. It's the same model Leeds have got. But Liverpool aren't spending the money where it's fine for Leeds to not spend the money. And Leeds, I mean, I think Leeds are going to push on for Europe this year because of the same philosophy that Klopp has got. But Leeds hasn't got the quality that Liverpool have got. But Leeds are going to be like West Ham this year. They're going to push on and they're going to be at some point they're going to be in the top 4. Obviously, they're not going to get top 4, but they're going to be around these areas. They're not going to be easy. I mean, their first game they got is Man United. They're not going to lose. They're not going to lose to Man United. I think it'll be a draw, like I said to Ed last time. It's sustainable. You don't spend too much, and you develop world class and youth. The other thing about Liverpool is that they don't just develop world class and youth. They develop their own players and then sell them for a few quid, don't they? You know, which is quite a good model. It's how Ryan Brewster 20 million, Danny Ward to Leicester 15 million, Gruitch back to Porto 15 million. So you get all this money together, and then you put that money to buy Sal Niguez, right? Leeds haven't bought any players this summer, doesn't mean that a failure now, mate. Lol. Exactly. Leeds and Liverpool are quite similar clubs, and they have the same style manager. Both of them are geniuses, and they have their own little philosophies that cannot be understood by anybody else. They're very similar, that everyone looks at it and goes, whoa, you need to spend money to win the league. And it's like, I don't think so. But this season, Liverpool win the league, behave yourself. Well, yeah, you would say that, because everyone thinks Man City are going to win the league. So, all right. Didn't say they would win the league. You keep saying that, lol. No, I think he's talking to me. I'm saying they're going to win the league. And they are going to win the league. They're going to win the league this year. Get used to it. What are we saying here? Hugto, sorry. Are you watching the Rangers Malmo FF game? Amazing to see 50,000 fans in the stadium. No, we're not watching it, but yeah, it is amazing. That's what I loved about the Euros. It really was such a special, it was the first time out of the COVID where it was like, yes, we're back to normal. Just to see all the fans in the stadium, because football without the fans is pointless. Just watching it, like last season, the Premier League, just watching 11 guys play 11 guys, like we're walking down the park to watch it. It's like, nah. You need the fans in there chatting shit. That's what makes it funny. Derby 1, Salford 2 at half time. Rooney's mounting a comeback. Is he coming on? Well, get the lad Rooney on. He's class. Come on, Rams. Yeah, I mean, Salford are a bunch of Wallies for cash on. Yeah, they're all owned by the class of 92, aren't they? The show is literally about why Liverpool will win the league. Yeah, exactly. It will. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's right. They will win the league. Read my article, and I explain it even more, but I'll tell you even more why Liverpool will win the league. I'm watching it while you're watching Malmo. Tell us the score, Rangers, Malmo. Obviously, is that a Champions League playoff or Europa League? Rangers won the league, so it must be a Champions League playoff. But let's just crack on to the next part of the segment. Do Liverpool need investment? Now, Dean Windass seems to think they do. Now, let me ask you, Dean, if they do invest, do you think that they can win the league? Say if they spend 250 million on whatever you think they need to get, do you think they have the quality there to win the league? Because I think you must know that they already have a lot of quality there, because they blitzed the league 2 years ago. What we're saying here, the show, I'm watching it, Malmo FF every day. I thought it was you were Messi out every day. You've given up on Messi now. Dudja Gardens FTW. I think they're in Sweden, and they Dudja Garden. Or you're probably guys are like Scandinavian. I'm absolutely destroying how I've just said that. Dudja Garden. Do the shitty gossip column. Yeah, all right, we'll do that shitty gossip column in a bit. But I want to talk about investment in Liverpool. Now, who are they linked with? Let me put it on, actually, to my screen. So, Liverpool are linked with... By the way, this is my article that you need to read, Dino. No, these are all my articles, but this is the main one that you want to read. Windows. This is what I do. I justify why Liverpool win the league in this article. Their key players, their chances, their best team. Look at this team, man. Obviously going to go, Man City's got a better team, but this team's unbelievable, Jeff. So yeah, prediction first, top scorer Salah. Let's wait and see. But let's talk about the investment that Liverpool need. Apparently, they've been linked with Sal Niguez, and for whatever reason, they're always linked with Mbappe. Now, I don't think Mbappe is going to go this season. I think he'll go on a free next season now, because he'll want to play with Messi, right? Who would give up that opportunity? Why would Mbappe go, I want to leave now? No. He wants to play with Messi and Neymar up front. Enjoy himself for a year. He's still young. Them two are old, aren't they, Neymar and Messi? Play for a year with them two, get even better, and then, Liverpool could get him on a free at the end of the season, right? And someone's going to get him on a free. We initially always thought it would be Barcelona Real, but Barcelona Real have got terrible financial problems, so they're not going to probably get him. And he wouldn't want to go there anyway because they're selling all their players. But what do you guys think in the comments? Like, what positions do Liverpool need? Because if you look at my team here that I've made of Liverpool, I mean, where do they need to strengthen there, really? The most position that I've always said is Firmino. It's always been Firmino. Always. But Klopp loves Firmino. I would bring Firmino back into, like, not against the bigger clubs, but against the smaller clubs. I'd bring him back into the number 10 role. And then I'd like a proper striker, you know? But if they had Mbappe, it would be perfect. But if they had Haaland, that would be great. But a proper striker, I mean, they're not going to get Harry Kane. But if Harry Kane played for Liverpool, man, he'd get I think he'd get 40 plus a season with the amount that they'd create, especially with Salah, Mane, Thiago, and Alexander-Arnold and Robertson all assisting him. I mean, but they can't afford him, can they? Let's be honest. But Kane would be amazing at Liverpool. It'd be amazing, but they're not going to get Kane. What are you guys saying? Derby's trending. I think that's why because they're playing. That's why, right? Yeah, they're playing against Salford. And it's Rooney, right? 2-0 down. Derby 2-0 down to a reality TV team after 15 minutes. I think it's going to be a long year, just like what Niall Horan says. It's going to be a long year for Derby County. So Kemi Tyler gets strapped in. No, I don't think Mbappe is coming to Liverpool. Not this season, but he might do next season on a free. I think he's leaving on a free, and Liverpool must be near the top of his list to sign for because Liverpool can afford that. Sub bench needs strengthen that can challenge for the first team like Jota last season. Yeah, Jota's a great sub. He's such a great sub to have. You know, such an amazing substitute to bring on. I even still quite like Divock Origi to bring on. You know, if we had Divock Origi in Euro 2020 and brought him on, and he got that second, you know, because you know that Champions League when Liverpool beat Spurs. I know they got a penalty in the first minute, but Spurs dominated them the whole game, just like Italy dominated England. It's very similar. We had Divock Origi that would have came on and scored in the 80th minute, killed them off. I mean, obviously they scored earlier, but if we would have got the second and killed off the Italians, that's what Divock does, doesn't he? He comes on and gets the important goals, you know? So I wouldn't sell him. So Liverpool have been linked with Saul Niguez. They've been linked with Mbappe. They're not really been linked with anyone else. I don't think they really need anyone, to be honest. I mean, Saul Niguez would be a good signing. Mbappe obviously would be an amazing signing. But I don't really think that they needed a centre-back, and they went out and got one. I don't really know much too about this Konate, but he plays for Leipzig, played in the German league, must play a good level. Wasn't too much money, so we'll have to wait and see on that guy. But what else are you guys saying? Spurs didn't really create a great chance, though. Missed opportunity for them. Yeah, if they're ever going to win the Champions League, that was their chance to win the Champions League against that Liverpool side. I remember they scored in the first minute, didn't they? It was a penalty and Salah scored it. And we thought, oh, this is over. But Spurs could have easily won that final. Easily. They dominated that game. And then Origi came on 81 minute and banged it in the bottom corner. And was like, get out, Spurs. Go and put the pressure on somewhere else. Fuck off. Aouar is the latest name at Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, maybe a centre mid. They might need another centre mid to add to what they already have. But starter wise, they've got Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago, and then they got that Keita. I still don't really like that Keita. But yeah, they'll be thinking we need to replace Wijnaldum, right? Right? We need to replace Wijnaldum. But I just think they're just going to promote Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's class. He's going to be a quality player. He's such a good dribbler. His touch is amazing. Reminds me a lot of Jack Grealish, but quicker. So watch out for Harvey Elliott this season. But all right. Let's what you said there. Let's go on to the gossip column. Let's listen to my analysis of the gossip column. Roma are closing on a £34 million deal for the England striker Tammy Abraham, as Chelsea look to offload the out-of-favour striker on loan with an option to buy. I read earlier that for some reason Tammy Abraham has agreed personal terms with Arsenal, which is weird. but no bid or anything has been accepted. I can see Abraham going to Arsenal, to be fair. If he goes to Roma, it wouldn't actually be that bad of a move for him, to be fair. Plays for Mourinho. He'll probably do all right there, but I can't imagine him wanting to go to Italy. I imagine he'll want to stay in England. I mean, I don't know. Abraham is also eyed by Arsenal and Atalanta. I mean, I think he'll go Arsenal, but I don't think Arsenal need him. Like, Arsenal need way more than I mean, they need a striker, yes. But they need more than a striker. They need midfielders and they need defenders first. Don't get a striker. He's not going to be cheap. Spend 40 million on a centre mid. Paris Saint-Germain have ended their interest in Paul Pogba. Have they, though? I mean, if he's got 1 year left on his contract and he's not happy, I think Paul Pogba will probably sign another deal. Why not? He's been robbing a living for the last 4 years. Why not rob a living for another 4 years? Because of his World Cup. I mean, he's a brilliant player for France, yeah, but he's got some, like, aura about him that everyone seems to think he's a tremendous player. Having had first part of the Chelsea medical, Inter Milan's Belgium striker Lukaku, 28, could play in the Premier League opener against Palace on Saturday. That's a nice game for you, isn't it? Your first game. Might put him in my fantasy, you know. Chelsea got Palace, because I think Palace might go down. We're going to go into this in the Premier League Super Week, but they got Vieira as the manager. He's a bit inexperienced. Palace ain't got much, have they? I like that Eze, the youngster they got. He's good, and they got Zaha, who's good. Who else have they got? Really? Jordan Ayew? See Palace going down. You can see that being a bloodbath, and Lukaku starting off his Chelsea career with an hat-trick, to be fair, and everyone go, yeah! All the Chelsea fans be like, yeah, we got him, 97.5 million, he's worth his money. But by the end of the season, you'll realise, nah, you should have got someone better. Pogba's a good player. His price tag makes you think he's than what he is. Perhaps. But I think Pogba's... I don't think Pogba's wasted his career, hasn't he? In a way, he should have never went back to Man United. He should have went to like Real or Barcelona at that time. Lyon have made an offer for Liverpool and Switzerland forward Xherdan Shaqiri. Yeah, if I was Liverpool, I'd probably... I mean, if you get a good price, get rid of Shaqiri. He's not needed. He's surplus to requirements to Liverpool, so get rid of him. Man United are set to confirm the signing of Varane, 28, on Wednesday, in a time for the Frenchman to play Saturday against Leeds. Yeah, that's probably because he has to do all that quarantine nonsense. Varane's basically done. Liverpool are eyeing a move for Rennes and Belgian winger Jeremy Doku. See, this is the type of player that Liverpool will buy. Someone like that I don't know about and turn him into a good player. Roma manager Mourinho is keen on a move for Lacazette. He'd be good there, to be fair, Lacazette. And Lacazette's been there a while now at Arsenal, and he's never had his breakout season, and he never will. So you may as well leave, cash in on him, get rid. But Arsenal are stupid. They'll probably get like 12 million or something. Leicester are keen on signing Man United midfielder Jesse Lingard if the fellow Englishman James Maddison leaves the club. Apparently linked with Arsenal, James Maddison. Can't really see that happening because it's going to be a lot of money. And when do Arsenal ever spend a lot of money? I mean, I know they spend a lot of money on Ben White, but they're not going to spend it again. Everton are interested in Newcastle's English midfielder Sean Longstaff. Oh, Sean Longstaff's back up and running again. And his brother, Matty Longstaff. I remember a few years ago, they were, them two were like, you know, they were always linked with Man United or Chelsea or whatever. These two lads. I mean, I don't know that much about Newcastle, to be fair. I think they're quite poor. I mean, they're a great club. They're such a big club. I love the fans, everything about them, but they're not very ambitious, are they? With Steve Bruce as the manager, they just want to stay in the league. So I don't know that much about this Longstaff. Bayern Munich are interested in Frank Ribery. The 38-year-old French winger has been training with the club since Fiorentina. Oh, really? Really? I mean, he's not going to cost anything, have him. Doku is a player. If they get him, I'll take it all back. They'll might make Champions League. I don't know why you think Liverpool are so bad. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they've got basically the same team where they absolutely routed the league 2 years ago. One that's just a one-off. Like, they won every single game for the first 20 games easily. Like, I think you need to wake up and smell the coffee, team. Man City winger Raheem Sterling is set for new contract talks with the club. Yeah, I mean, he's 26. Yeah, if I was City, I'd want to keep him. tied down to a big deal. I'd want to keep him. He's still, he's probably coming into his prime. He's a great player. He's a great attacking threat. I think Sterling's going to play a lot this season. So yeah, Man City should keep him. Tottenham and France midfielder Tanguy Ndombele is considering his future at Spurs. What sort of bollocks is that? Considering his future at Spurs? I'm considering my future every day. Well, don't put it in the gossip column. So yeah, that's it. But with Liverpool, I think it's going to be a great season for them because nobody's expecting anything from them. People like Dean Windass are writing them off because they're not spending any money, and they're just going to come back and go, oh, they're just who's Liverpool's first game? Let's have a look. Who's Liverpool's first game? Should be on Saturday. Who is it? Norwich away. Well, there we go. That'll be like 6-0. 5-6-0, I reckon, maybe. It'll be +3. If you're doing the betting markets, be +3, definitely. Liverpool are going to batter Norwich. Norwich have not spent a penny either. They just keep going up and down with the same team. And they sold their best player, haven't they? That Buendia. So, yeah, that will be at least 3-0 to Liverpool. But we'll go through the predictions later on in the week because it's still quite early Tuesday. I wanted to do about Liverpool today. Obviously, let me just put it out back onto here. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Man City. Obviously, everyone loves Man City. That everyone thinks they're going to win the league. Everything's perfect about Man City. Everything's perfect about Pep Guardiola. No one ever calls him out on his bullshit. He's always chatting shit, Pep Guardiola. Like, oh yeah, the only reason why we could afford Jack Grealish is because we sold £60 million worth of players. Like, what? And they all just sat there in the press conference, listened to him, and went, full of shit. Like, as if they've got money problems at Man City. It's like, you have got no money problems. Like, when you first joined Man City, that's why you joined, because you knew you'd get the money, right? You knew that whatever you wanted, you'd get. What are you saying? Dean Windass is back in business. I don't, but funny to make you and seriously eggy too easily. Liverpool finish about 6th, I reckon. That means Spurs are going to come above them. Now, we know you've had a few. Klopp going to go on gardening leave. Big Sam takes over, brings Juve out of retirement. Can see it now. Yeah, maybe. It will be. That's a good point. Maybe not about Liverpool, but it will be interesting to see if Big Sam ever gets a Premier League job again, because the West Brom gave him the job, didn't they? Expecting him to keep them up, because that's basically his job in life. Keep up shitty teams by playing shitty football. And they went down. They never really looked like they were going to stay up. It'll be interesting if the smaller sides, like Palace, they might struggle with Vieira. We'll give Sam Allardyce a job. It will be very interesting to see. But yeah, on the conclusion of today, Liverpool are going to win the league. They've got the best attacking line in the league. They got the best defence in the league. That's a good question for you. Maybe we'll do this next time. Who's the best goalkeeper in the league? It's either Alisson or... Alisson plays for Brazil, right? It's not Edison. So Alisson's better. I'd say Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the league. Midfield, they're not the best, but they're the top 4 midfield. So, yeah, quality-wise, Liverpool have got probably the best. They've got they've got a lot of good young players that are hungry to start. So, yeah, Liverpool are going to win the league this year. And they're hungry. They've got a point to prove. And Klopp's a genius, He makes it about the team. Liverpool FC01's chirped up. Thanks, Dean Windass. You don't have a clue about Liverpool. Wake up, man. Elbow, see you in the net. Who's next? Yeah, but that's the conclusion. Liverpool are going to win the league. Go read my article and comment on it on the Medium page, medium.com/@JamesRichShow. If you don't think they're going to win the league, and then you can see my Man City article, you can see my Chelsea article, you can see my Arsenal article, and you can see my Man United article. The Spurs one should be done by tonight or tomorrow morning, and we're probably going to do a few more, but before the start of the season. But tomorrow, we're streaming every single night. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter. That's where we're normally at posting. All James Rich Show. But tomorrow will all be about City. So get your questions in about Man City tomorrow. what you think of them. Obviously, maybe everyone's just going to agree that they're going to win the league, but I don't think they are. So, come and tell me why they are going to win the league. They're not going to win the league. Ain't got it in them. All right. Love you all, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, 8 o'clock UK, 9 o'clock European time. Thanks a lot. See you in a bit.